Hey out there, everybody! My name is Raven, and we are doing a Magic Arena Strixhaven quick draft today. We got a couple of promo codes that will drop into the chat as we get moving here. But for the moment, we're just going to actually get things fired up, take a look at our gold is starting to dwindle a little bit, but we've done pretty good with our arena matches so far. We got a couple of cards stocked up here to help us build out some historic decks, which is going to be nice. And it looks like our quests don't really matter here. Like, I'm not going to worry about these. In fact, I'll probably just recycle this one once I know what our deck looks like. In any case, if you're hanging out with me today, I appreciate it. And let's go right on into the standard metagame challenge. Oh crud! Did I just completely forget about this for the day? I did. How badly do I want to go at this? It's 2,000 gold until we get somewhere, and I feel like the correct answer is to just play mono green. Bring your standard deck and play best of 3. Yeah, I don't have a standard deck together right now, so that doesn't seem good. We will go right ahead though and Strixhaven this. And, yeah, we'll get on going here. If you're hanging out, thanks for joining me. Let's get this moving. So, 5,000 gold in. It's a little rough, but it's not too bad. All right, right off the bat, we have a really strong rare here in Culling Ritual. Mana value 2 or less. That just generates us a ton of value if we're on the Pest deck. Mortality Spear, however, is a little bit better, I think, in more circumstances. Solve the equation's okay, but I think sometimes you're just dead when you cast it. It's not helpful. Snakeskin Veil can definitely be a huge blowout when an opponent's trying to play removal spells. Overall, though, I don't see anything that's really super standing out to me in this pack. Elemental Summon's a great lesson. Bird Wizard's okay. Combat Professor as well. Like, these are kind of like tier 2 picks. But like the two that are standing up are Mortality Spear and Culling Ritual. I think I'm going to take, like, I've had some really awkward games with Culling Ritual because it does clear my board out pretty badly, but I've also had some pretty nice blowouts when you get towards the end of a game, and it just can propel you into further points. I don't know, it's a really hard. I'm going to take the Culling Ritual. I know the Mortality Spear won't come back, but I feel like neither of these are really splashable either. Maybe the correct answer, like if I'm going to be on green, I'm going to be on green-black. I'm going to try to be on Witherbloom. I really don't want to be on Quandrix if I can avoid it. So I think that's probably the correct call, is the Culling Ritual. So we'll take the Culling Ritual, see where we end up. Channel. Now there's a spell for you. Play 1 life. Anytime you could activate a mana ability, pay 1 life, you do add 1 white. Okay, that's some new wording on it, but alright. Channel, I feel like, is just incredibly powerful in this type of a format. That being said, Inkling Summoning's huge. Containment Breach is also gigantic. Rise of Extius is just about as big as they get as well, but like I feel like just Channel Vomit my hand out probably wins me games in a number of situations. So I think that's what we'll do. And I think it'll be fine. We'll see. This might just be 1,000% wrong, but what the heck, right? Let's find out what we're doing. So Cram Session's really big. It's got the Learn addendum on it, but this is just removal. I think this is probably right. Mage's Duel is excellent removal. There's other options here in Adventurous Impulse. The Scurry's never bad. Introduction to Prophecy is a really powerful too, but I don't know how much I'm going to have to lean into Learns and Prophecies here. I'm going to take the Mage Duel, and I think this deck is going to lean a little bit on Channel and stuff like that. This pack is a little unfortunate. There's not a lot in it that I see that I really want, and unfortunately it does kind of look like these are a little bit more open. If it turns out that Silver Quill and Lorehold are just the open colors, and I may be in a little bit of trouble. But on the upside, there's still an Arrogant Poet. There's Cram Session here available. There's Expanded Anatomy that's also available. I think we're going to prioritize taking the Learn card here over the Lesson. Now, here's a top-tier pick for this type of a deck. If we're going to be on green-black, we haven't seen some of the pests. We haven't seen like a lot of the bigger cards for this deck that make the archetype work, but Plumb the Forbidden is one of those cards that just can turn a losing situation right around into card advantage. Now we're back to pick 6, and we've got a lot of white and black options here, but there's also a couple of like mid-tier, low-tier green picks here. I think I'm more into I don't know. Like, do I want the Inkling Summon now that I've got the Cram Session, or do I want to take the Rise, which is just removal? I think I'm going to take the Rise, because if I can combine if I have to channel Rise, like, that's fine. It's not the worst thing ever. Now here's another pack that is a little... So I really want to take the Boyogriff here, but I feel like without anything else to support it, that's probably wrong. We don't have any of the pest summonings yet. We don't have those types of abilities. Containment Breach is also really powerful, but I think that as far as lessons are concerned, I'd probably rather just have Introduction to Prophecy. There's also the Novice Dissector, which is not as good as I'd like it to be. There's a lot of good options here for me. I think this early, I want to take the Containment Breach, and we'll see. Oh, no. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess we should have taken the other one, but that's okay. So looking at this pack, it definitely looks like Lore Hold was a little bit open. I can take another Containment Breach, but I don't feel like that accomplishes what I want it to. I think I'm going to take the Witherbloom Campus here, and that seems fine. A little bit of mana fixing is never terrible. All right, so this pack has come back around, and we are looking at Professor's Warning, Reckless Amplifier, or Letter of Acceptance. All of these are pretty good options. My big problem right now is I don't have anything to do with this. Like, I do not have excellent creatures at the moment. So I'm going to take the Amplifier and hope we get some better bodies, some sooner bodies. Containment Breach a third time. Not really going to help us out. So I'm going to take the Moldering Karak and see what we can make out of this. We are kind of having some difficulty getting bodies here. Getting some of the better things for this type of a deck. Look at the top 3 cards, reveal a creature or land. That seems okay. Like, it's not a bad turn 1 play, but it's not really the one I want. I think I'm going to take the Scourge Colony, as that does get better the later the game goes. Spine Karak is not excellent. I don't want to mill myself. The Dust Mage is also probably fine. I don't have a lot of ways to put 1/1 counters on things, but I'm not too worried about it. I don't see myself splashing for any of this. Maybe we can splash for Claim the Firstborn if we get like another sack outlet of some kind, but I don't see that particularly happening. This is a good sign that Witherbloom is open for us, but the Karak is terrible, and the second Karak is not excellent. So we'll throw him in the sideboard, and Curate's not going to help us at all. So overall, we have a very middling deck here that's not super great. Emergent Sequence, however, is quite good, as is Master Symmetrist for us. But there's also a removal spell here. There's also a removal spell here. What do we want? Do I want the early removal spell? Do I want the land ramp? Dina is also here. I think I just take Dina. Yeah, with the sacrifice a creature option, I think Dina's the best thing in this pack for me. Something's bound to come along around, but I think she's going to be the standout here. Double Major's great. Oh, there's a Bookworm. We are so in on this Bookworm. This thing can just turn games around and win. Just win. The Leyline Invocation is very valuable too. The Witherbloom Pledge Mage is probably more playable, but I think the Bookworm is just above and beyond the best thing in this pack. If I was on Prismari, this would be a pretty powerful pack too. Like, the Inspiration's huge. Heated Debate's fantastic. Pigment Storm, like, there's a lot of good red-blue in this pack. But I think we're just going to take this Bookworm, feel happy with it, and then there's an Eliminate. There's a no questions asked here. Big removal spell. Now we have a couple of questions here. We have the Demigoth Woe Eater, and we have Village Rites. I think we're going to take the Woe Eater here because it gets us a little bit further into what we're trying to do. The Village Rites is fantastic, though. There's, fortunately, like, it doesn't seem like we have a lot of really great bodies to throw Village Rites at, and we don't have a lot of bodies to Woe Eater either, but the Woe Eater can come down and just make life really hard for our opponents. This pack is a little bit less good. We are leaning towards the brackish troll, but I don't think we have a lot of life gain triggers. Yeah, we just don't have the pests, unfortunately, to make things happen. We are going to take the brackish troll, though, because it is a strong 3-drop. It can just push through. Deadly Brew, however, is going to be each player sacrifices a creature, planeswalker. If I sacked one, then I can return a permanent from my grave to my hand. That seems okay. It's pseudo removal. Like, it gets rid of the worst thing on their board, and it gets us moving. Hey, Gun P9, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So I think we're going to take the Deadly Brew here. I don't know if I'm going to play it or not. Maybe the Blood Researcher is more correct here, or the Archway Commons even. But we're going to take this. We'll see how we feel about it. Okay, so this pack is really good for us, too. We have Hunt for Specimens, which is really good. We have, man, I wish this pack was a little bit earlier and I could have gotten 2 cards out of it. Yikes. So the Eye Twitch is really good, but we only have, the 1 Containment Breach that we might learn. Agonizing Remorse is never bad, but I think, I'm more worried about having bodies to do things at this point. So I think the Hunt for Specimens is probably a little bit better. No, the Eye Twitch is definitely better than Hunt for Specimens. And Agonizing Remorse, between Agonizing Remorse and Eye Twitch, where we're at right now, I kind of feel like it's probably the Eye Twitch. I don't know. Roast me if I'm wrong. It's fine. All right, so this pack is also really good for us. Witherbloom Apprentice is going to just do so much work. There's the 2-drop that we wanted. And the Emergent Sequence has come around. That feels excellent. So do we want the Emergent Sequence at this point? Or do we want the Introduction to Annihilation? I think it's really hard to make that call. We don't have a lot of Learn, but Introduction to Annihilation is going to get rid of the biggest threat in their deck. But Emergent Sequence is going to let us just, accelerate to the moon. We'll accidentally color and ritual the Emergent Sequence if we have to play that sequence. So let's take the Introduction, so we have a second thing to learn. This pack is unfortunate. I don't see us splashing into any of this, but if I had to pick something here, I'd probably take the Pigment Storm. I mean, I guess I have a couple of sacrifice options, so the Claim the Firstborn might be playable, but I don't see myself playing enough red to Pigment Storm. That being said, Thrill Possibility doesn't really help me too much either. Yeah, Zimone is definitely an option, but I'm not splashing blue, I don't think. I'm going to take the Pigment Storm on the off chance I do end up in a little bit of red. Maybe we can, I don't know, splash off of Letter of Acceptance. That seems not excellent. But we'll find out. Let's take, Charge Through. Do we have bodies that can charge through? Kind of. Maybe we can charge through a Weeder and get through a little bit. That doesn't seem excellent either. We're going to take the Letter, and maybe we'll have to play it. Maybe we won't. Probably not. But, okay, so now there's a second Pigment Storm. There's also the Novice Dissector here. I feel like the Novice gets us Learn triggers, but, +1/+1 on counter target creature. Does that really get us where we want to be with this? We don't have a ton of small bodies that we really want to do stuff like that with. I think the second Pigment Storm might be okay. We're feeling a little light on better removal. In this case, we'll take First Day of Class in case we do have to lean red a little bit. And Square Up is playable, but we don't want to have to play it. Oh, in an Ogre Battle. An Ogre Battle. Yay. Oh, Cody. Vom. Necrotic Fumes, on the other hand, is excellent here. But it is not as good as Mortality Spear by any means. So I think here the decision is pretty much made for us. The lesson is good, though. The fact that it's a lesson says a lot. I don't know if either of these come back to us. So I guess what's more important here? How much life am I gaining? A little bit. There's the Eye Twitch and the Cram Session to learn. We don't have a lot to learn. What do we have here? But we are going to learn what? This or Breach. I'm not super pleased about that. I think here, in addition to cast it, we have to exile something. That's going to be a problem, I think. I worry about being able to pay that cost with this deck. Unless I can throw the Eye Twitch or the other thing at it. I think I'm just going to take the Mortality Spear because I think it's easier to cast. I don't think any of the good stuff in that pack comes back around to me. The Shiny Expressive Iteration is really good. That being said, we have no way to really make use of it. Rip Apart's always excellent as well. Like, this is a premium Jeskai pack, yikes. But I think I just want another 2-drop here, or a removal spell. Like, I don't feel bad about Introduction to Prophecy. I don't feel bad about the Pledge Mage either. Wow, how is my curve looking here? It's a little light on 3-drops and a little heavy on 4-drops. We don't have no 5-drops either. So we do have to kind of be aware of that. Maybe we take the Mage's Duel and not worry too much about it. How much removal do we have? 1... Pseudo 2, 3-ish, 4, 5, 6-ish. It's not super awesome, but neither is... Mage's Duel is okay. Like, you have to stack spells with it, but... I don't know, like... Maybe our bodies are just going to be big enough to handle that, but I don't see a ton of big bodies on us. So I think I can take this and feel okay about it. Maybe I'm supposed to be splashing here, or I'm supposed to take the Pledge Mage. I don't know. I'm going to take this and see what comes around. Time Warp. Well, you're nice and banned, but I don't see too much else in this pack that really makes me go yes. Field Trip is not a bad option either. Tangle Trap definitely deals with the flyers. We are going to have some problems with flyers. I think the only thing we really have to deal with flyers is Scourge Colony. But I'm also not too worried about it. Field Trip seems really good because that does get us to 4 mana. 4 mana Learn. That seems really good. But I really don't want to take our 3rd turn off to do that. So I think I'm just going to take the Leech Fanatic. And I guess, yeah, that also gets us some life gain triggers if we need them. This pack is not super. Infused with Vitality. Means Death Touch when it dies. Return it. That's not really what we want to do here. The Griff is okay. The Team Pennant... Do we have a lot of things making tokens? Not really. We have not seen... We're in trouble because we have not seen a Tend the Pests yet. So we may just have some problems here overall. Infused with Vitality is not excellent. That's not really what we want to be doing. The Biogriff is okay, but I think we're just going to have to take Hunt for Specimens and like it. So we are at 23 now. It's either the Biogriff... The Biogriff. Actually, we're going to take the Biogriff for the hopeful play of I Twitch into Biogriff. Maybe. No, that's not good. We're going to take Hunt for Specimens. That's just better. Why? I thought I had one of these earlier, too. I passed up on it for something else, which was clearly a mistake. So now we have... Okay, there's a number of good options here. The Spectre of the Fens I like with these late games that run late, because it just gives you an option to dump mana in and drain your opponent quickly. The Witherbloom Pledge Mage, however, is just a big body that gets in the way, and the same for the Cogwheel Archivist. This has reach and can be a problem. I think I want the 5-drop here more than the 4-drop, but I don't know... This is kind of a hard call. I don't have a lot of ways to deal with flying. I think I'm going to take the Spectre here. And no. I just want the bigger body. I'm going to take the 5-drop. It'll help fill out my curve. Expanded Anatomy is really good for our board. Professor's Warning is pretty good. So what do I have to cut now? Like, I'm at 25. I want to cut 2 spells. I already want to cut 2 spells. Let's phrase it that way. Promising Dusk Mage is probably not the best thing. Letter of Acceptance is probably out too, because we're not really doing on that plan. The next thing out is probably Moldering Korak. I don't know how I feel about this channel. Like, this is really kind of like a So choose land or non-land, find a card. That's probably really good for this type of a situation. We can blow by a sorcery or an instant if we needed it, but that's also... what it is. I think, though, Expanded Anatomy can also get through... How many things do we have to learn? 1 that's not always helpful. Oh, wow. 2. We only have 2 things to learn, and one of them is not super helpful. So I think in this situation, we take the expanded anatomy. That'll give us another learn target. And now we're back to this, and we just do not have good options here. We have the spring main, which is nyeh. We have this, and return them to the battlefield. At the beginning of the next end step, return each of them to the battlefield under its owner's control. Each of them enters the battlefield. Okay, so I think this is actually going to be... This might be too cute. We'll look at it, but this might be too cute with the other 2 spells we have in our... With the, what's it called? The Culling Ritual. We'll take a look at it, but I think that's just not going to work out the way we want it to. There's another cram session here, which isn't bad. That does give us more learn options and life gain triggers for Brackish Troll, but I think we need a little more aggression. So I'm leaning toward the Blood Researcher right now. Our 3 drops are kind of light. Let's see. We have 11 creatures, 4 instants, 8 sorceries, so we do have a lot of spells. We're feeling okay in that realm, but cram session into Mage's Duel feels pretty good when we have a decent body on the board. Like if we play 2-drop and then cram session into something else, that feels really good. We also have a number of life gain triggers. What do we have? We only have those 3 things in the sideboard to fish up, so that is kind of a concern. We have 2 ways to fish cards up, 2 ways to learn. And now the question is, what do we cut for it? Like, what are we actually taking out of the deck to be able to play this card? I do not know. Well, Semester's End, I already know, is like, I'm just playing Trixies at that point. Blood Researcher on the 3-drop, or another cram session on the 2-drop. I think I'm going to take the cram session here, because I think that sets up more powerful plays. How many 2-drop creatures do I have, though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, I feel okay taking another cram session here. And that might be right, it might be wrong, we'll find out later. I don't think we're a Crushing Disappointment deck, but the Archivist I do like having on the board somewhere. Nothing excellent here, but I'll take a Rip Apart for other formats. That seems okay. Essence Infusion I don't like. I don't think that really gets me where I want to go. If it was a lesson, it would be viable, but in this situation, not so much. Tangle Trap I do like, but I also don't feel like that's going to get me where I want to be long term here. Illustrious Historian's really good, but we're not on red. So let's take the Tangle Trap and throw it in the sideboard. We're back to this pack, which doesn't really have much for me. Team Pennant, maybe I can make a 1-1 with Trample something. I don't know. That just doesn't seem super excellent at this point. I'm not going to play Infuse with Vitality. At least I don't think so. I really don't have... I have 1 sack outlet. I'm going to just take the Divine Gambit because... So we'll shove that in the sideboard. Another Cogwork has come around. I'm not going to play 2 of those. I'm going to take Mascot Interception for why not. Tangle Trap again for why not. And Thrilling Discovery is not too bad either. So we have 25 cards. We have to cut 2. Maybe 3. Like maybe this is a 16 land deck. Probably not. 16. So we have 17 lands. We're looking okay. So we have to cut 1? That's weird. I thought we had to cut 2. Okay. Well, we have to cut 1 here, and I'm really thinking it might be just Channel. Then again, Channel just like into whatever in my hand is probably fine. Culling Ritual, Mage's Duels are fine. Brackish Troll is good. I don't have a lot to feed him, but I think it's probably okay. I'm kind of leaning toward the Karok, to be honest here. Like, I kind of feel like as a 4-drop, that's probably not what I want, but I probably have too many 2-drops as well. The question is, what do you throw away? Like, everything here in the 2-drop section is pretty solid. It could be the Amplimancer, but also, like, Channel Amplimancer to kill them seems really funny. Like, I'll trade 15 life and deal you 6. Or 8. I'll trade 15 life for 8 of yours. That seems really not excellent. But overall, this always gets the worst of their creatures. Return another permanent from my graveyard to my hand, though. That's okay, I guess. Because I'll probably pitch something, iTwitch and get iTwitch back. Or I don't know. Or something like that. Just doesn't seem like super, super effective when I need it to be. I don't know. What do we think here, chat? I'm thinking it's the Karok. Yeah. I'm thinking it's the Karok. Let's do that and see where we end up with. All right. Goodbye. And this looks like our 40. Let's see how we do in this league on Witherbloom. But before we get to playing here, we are going to dump one of these arena codes. CC. There we go. So, right into chat. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Athlon Duke. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the follow. We are about to get right on in here to a Magic Arena draft. Quick draft here for Strixhaven. We ended up on Witherbloom, and that's kind of funny because this is like the third quick draft we've done in a little bit here. And this is also the third archetype we've ended up on out of 3. So we'll get into it. Hopefully we'll find opponents. Arena's been a little off lately. Off is the best word I can find here with finding opponents. Like, it's been bugging out and just kind of dropping games and doing some other weird stuff. But it's fine. We are patient. It's trying. Waiting for opponent. I'm here. Where are you? Opponent has disconnected maybe or reconnected. I don't know what the deal is. But this Witherbloom deck, I don't know, power level wise, it seems really mediocre. I did not get a number of the lessons that I wanted, and that usually make this deck tick. But we did get a lot of removal, so that's a thing. I don't know. I feel like with the later Lorehold removal that came around, I was probably supposed to be on Lorehold, but I also am not super worried about it. Here we go. Opponent has connected. Hello, Bacon. Welcome to the stream. Let's get this. Okay. I guess not. Cook to you real quick. Yeah, so Arena's been doing stuff like that lately, and it's really just kind of like, why? So let's see here if this works better, or if it's just going to dump me out into the Aether again. Let's hope not. So we're waiting. We are patiently waiting. Hello, is anybody out there? Magic Arena, I would like an opponent, please. I suppose that's, like, the point of Magic Arena is that you're not supposed to, like, have problems finding opponents. That's the convenience factor of it, is you can just go. Hello, Guillermo. Welcome to the stream. Let's see how this goes. This seems kind of gross. I'm okay with this. I'm going to not be able to cast Channel because I'm awesome at Magic. Please draw a second forest. Okay. Thanks, game. Let's just do gross things. How does everybody feel about that? I feel really good. So they are also the Witherbloom deck, but I'm... What is this? Okay. It comes into battlefield. Ooh, that's really good. So we'll probably be learning for our destroy an artifact or enchantment here for sure. What... Did they not learn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. That's cool. So I'm going to channel here. And then let's do this. Channel. Activate a mana ability. You can pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I don't have green for it. Oh, what the shit? Okay, channel only adds colorless. I completely botched this. I'm good at Magic, I swear to God. Hint, I did not read my cards, and I'm going to pay for it. Well, that's awful. Oh, man. So I needed triple green to make that happen. Well, Guillermo, congratulations. I have severely botched this one. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and hunt for specimens. We'll get on the board. We'll grab Containment Breach, and that'll have to be enough. We'll take the quill away as soon as you try to do something with it. You get a colony. That's okay, because I'm going to land Containment Breach. Yep, that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go land Containment Breach. We're going to target your quill here with not that. 1, 2, 3. Take that away, and then we'll Mage's Duel. Target this and this. So we will pump it up, smash the colony, and get in with our germ. Not germ. What are these? Pests. We'll get in with our pest. And now we're feeling okay. It's not a great situation. If I have to Culling Ritual, I will. It'll wreck my board, but you know, we're at where we're at. So they're gonna Woe Eater. That's okay, because I'm gonna respond with Cram Session. Yep. So we will Cram Session here. What do I want though? I'm gonna take my own introduction. One moment, please, everybody. All right, sorry about that. We're back. So we're going to take Introduction to Annihilation here. It just seems like the most viable thing. We're not going to attack. We're going to let him take a turn off, sacrifice his Woe Eater, do some things. I'm going to have to discard a card. I'm going to actually... Oh, this is... Do I just throw the Bookworm? Like, I can't really cast it right now. It's going to take me some time, and I can put it back on top of my library if I need to. So I will do that. Culling Ritual at this point is not super playable. So we need to draw 2 more land to make something happen here. And our opponent has a full grip. And there's the Spectre, which is not my favorite thing. So they're going to do that. And I can just throw this back on top of my library somewhere and not really worry about it. This is an excellent draw, though. This Pledge Mage will get us places. And they're going to be forced to hold the Spectre back unless they drew land here. Like, if they drew land and they Introduction, then that's excellent. 5, 6. So I need to draw 2 more land to really make a splash here. And this is what I was worried about with Culling Ritual. Sometimes it just gets stuck in your hand and does nothing. Also not, like, completely botching that channel was awful. I can't believe I did that. So they're going to play a Karok here and get in. That's fine. I'm probably not going to waste... well, maybe I do here. I don't know. Like, I'm not really feeling this type of a push on the Karok. I'm probably going to push out their Spectre. If this is a trade they want to make, that's excellent. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the 2 damage return from this either, but I do like taking cards away from them for nothing. So we will let them trade the Karok for 3 life. Is that what they gain? They gain 3 life here. And not worry about it too much, because they know there's a Bookworm coming. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 more land, there's a Bookworm coming. And I'm not worried about anything that they're playing, is what it comes down to. Sure, play the Leech Fanatic. You're going to try to buy yourself time to Spectre. That's okay. If my biggest concern is that they have another fatty like that Woe Eater, and we both know we have Annihilations. Like, we're both kind of just dirtling around each other, and that's perfectly fine. Like, if they charge in with the Fanatic, then I'll double block. I'm not going to worry about it. So we'll push in again with the Pledge Mage. Let's see what they do. So they're holding up for something. What do they have on 3 mana that's going to really make me go, ooh. All right, that's okay too. We'll let them untap, and if their play is the Introduction, they can't Introduction. That's what they're worried about. They're going to hold their Introduction for the Bookworm. That's perfectly reasonable. But if they dilly-dally too long, this Pledge Mage is going to take over. Unfortunately, this Ritual is really just dead in my hand. Unless they just wing out another 1 or 2 drops. Another couple 1 or 2 drops. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to go for this. If they've got a trick, they've got a trick. That's fine. If you want to waste some kind of a combat trick to save a Leech Fanatic, I'm here for it. Sure. You can do it. I'm going to gain 2 life, though. You'll get your Leech Fanatic back. And if that was the most valuable play you could have made this turn, all power to you. Brackish Troll is unfortunate for us, though. But more unfortunate for them is the fact that I'm going to Bookworm here. So it will get exiled. I'm going to draw an additional card off of it. But for the most part, this is a good trade for me. And we do pick up a Witherbloom Apprentice. We'll push 5 into them. And now we've got a bit of a race. It's kind of a race. Going on, we probably have to annihilate their troll, though, the Trudge. But we'll see. We do have a lot of excess mana, so I'm going to Apprentice first. So does he push hard? How badly does he want to hold back this Pride Mage? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has a lot of potential damage coming through, but so do I. Even better. So now the play is Pledge Mage. Oh, do they have a 1 black response to this? Culling Ritual, or do I want to annihilate? This is a little bit hard. Let's Culling Ritual. Mage's Duel? Yes, that's what we'll do. So we'll Culling Ritual here. Triggers go. Oh no, it's the Apprentice. Oh, that was wrong. I'm going to get a free mana for it, but this was not what we wanted to happen. I accidentally just killed my Apprentice. Whoopsies. We are not doing well with paying attention to our interactions today. I did that way out of order. And I'm going to pay for it. And that is just what's going to happen here. It's fine. I guess that means we annihilate the Trudge. Oh, he's going to Village Rights, and this is really going to cost me. Yikes. Not good. Not good at all. So what do I want to do here? Let's Mage's Duel. Target this and this, I guess. We'll gain 1 more. We'll punch in and we'll crash in for 6, I guess. Like, that's okay. This is not going the way we wanted to at all. We did kind of just botch this terribly. So he can gain this back. He can't trigger this to this. But we have pretty much just put ourselves at such a huge disadvantage time and time again this game that it's been bad. So they do get to adventure again. Find another Spectre. We are in some real trouble now. That, however, was a big play off the top. So the Cogwork can block the Spectre, but they can still just start ramming it through by shoving a bunch of mana into it and doing a bunch of damage. So we do have to make them think about what they're doing now. I've got to find a way to generate some card advantage. I've thrown away way too many spells this game. Luckily, we do have the biggest creature on the board for a little while. No, that was not cool. That was really good for them. So there's the second Spectre, and we are just going to get flown over here. I guess we have to annihilate this. Hope they don't have something better. Say go. Yeah, we're in trouble. We are in major trouble here. They've gotten rid of our 2 biggest bodies. We've misplayed all over this game. Yep, there's a 3-2. They're going to gain 2. And now they have a huge advantage. They have all the time in the world. Yep. They're going to brackish. And we just don't have another body that can contend with this. Leech Fanatic will not do the trick here. It'll trade with Springmane, I guess. And then we'll take 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, we're super dead here. So they got that one. That was not well played on my part at all. And I realized, like, everything just as soon as I did it. Just like, all right, let's do this. And, oh, wait, no. That was awful. So that is 1-0 or 0-1 for us. Not a good showing here, Witherbloom. I definitely should have been Lorehold. But hey, live, learn, get better. Pay attention to what your cards do. Like, that's super disappointing because we had the channel and the worm, and we just kind of, like, threw it out the window. It was just kind of like, I don't feel like playing today. Like, I'm just going to do awful, horrible things and not pay attention to what my cards do. And then we did it again with the Witherbloom Apprentice. Okay, this hand is not great. I don't think this is playable. We don't have mana. Good mana. Our earliest stop is this. We have to throw that back. This is better. It's not the best ever, but it is better. We can throw the swamp down and feel okay. We do need a little bit more green than we need black on this type of deck, but it's not awful. So we will run Dina out. We'll probably run into an Eliminate or something, which will be sad. If not, okay, so they are black-white. They are Silver Quill, and they do not seem to have a follow-up play. So let's go ahead and let's just charge in on the off chance we do have to plum here. That's good. We will hunt for specimens. And what do I want? This early in the game, it's really hard to call. I'm going to take the... so I'm going to probably end up having to plum Witherbloom, or Witherbloom Mage. Plum is probably what we're looking at. So let's Containment Breach on the off chance they do play some kind of an artifact or enchantment. I mean, Silver Quill is reasonably enchantment heavy. Like, there are a lot of really good things that they can play to kind of slow us down. So at the very worst... Oh, they're going to go blank? They're going to blank us? Ugh. Oh, man. So they're going to get Containment Breach. And they're going to get Forest here. Because I want to hold on to the other two. Like, I definitely want to hold on to Plum. And the Pledge Mage is pretty good. So now... sacrifice something. She gets bigger. Things happen. We'll charge in. We're just going to keep the pressure on. Like, there's not much else we can do. If they dump our hand again, then we're sad. Maybe the Amplifier wasn't correct in that play sequence. I can also draw 3 cards here and just deal a bunch with Dina. But we'll see what they drop. Getting through with Dina is the key here. Spiteful Squad is a 2/2 that makes my life difficult. So that is not what we wanted to see, but not awful either. So it's a 2/2 with Death Touch that makes my life difficult. Let's get in here, see what or if they want to trade, and try to make something happen. They are not going to take a trade here. Okay. That is concerning on a number of points. We're short on mana. We're short on spells. I feel like... Okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to hold up to be able to do things with her or not at this point. I'm holding up the plum on the off chance that I have to... do a bunch here. Whenever I gain life, each opponent loses a life. They're going to Revitalize, which is... It's going to buy him some time and get them to some bigger plays. If they go blank me again, we're toast. We are in an awful position. That is another problem. So it's a 4/4 with lifelink until end of turn. Yep. So this will swing in. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to block here. We're going to put 1 blocker in, and then we're going to plum, sacrifice 1, pay 2, sacrifice Friendo here, draw 2 cards, do a bunch of damage with Dina, plum for 1. Bookworm is nice here, but doesn't quite get what we need done here. Mortality Spear, however, is going to make their day very hard. So at the end of this turn, we're going to Mortality Spear here. Push that out, untap and draw. That's not a land, but we are going to crash in here. Play another Scourge Colony, and now we're starting to really make some progress. We do need 1 more land here to get it done, and they've hit the point where they should be able to cast everything in their deck. It's just a question of what. Like, we had to kind of dance around the Spiteful Squad here, and it was not easy. This Scourge Colony is never getting bigger. If I don't draw a land, the Reckless Amplifier is not really going to help us. We've kind of played through our options for Trixies. We've got 2 mana open still, but it is what it is. If they go... Oh, yeah, go blank will also get rid of my Bookworm, which is not good. Divine Gambit is going to be the saddest thing they could have done Yikes. Hi. Hi, this is Bookworm. That they may have just given me the game here on that. Defend the campus. Sure. That is perfectly fine. I'm still going to draw 3, gain some life. You're going to lose some life. I'm going to be perfectly happy with this. I probably could have sacked the book. I should have sacked the Bookworm. Oh well. That's perfectly fine too. So here's the other cool thing, is we're going to cast this. And then we're going to use Dina to eat it. Hi. We're still going to get our shinies from it. She's going to get huge. We're going to draw a card, gain 2 life, deal them some damage, make them discard, and just bash their head in. Yikes. That was disgusting. So they've got 2 cards now. One of them's a good boy. What's the other one? It's got to be big. Okay. So it's a 3/3 now, and I have 0 worries about this. There's just nothing they can do. Sure. Make the Implementor bigger and get in? Okay. Well, that was a much better showing. It helps when I read my cards. In any case, we are now 1-1 in the Strixhaven Quick Draft League. If you're just joining me, thank you, I appreciate it. My name is Raven. We're playing Magic Arena. We're giving away some free codes and just having a good time on a Sunday night. If you're enjoying hanging out, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, follow thing. Check out the links below to help support me. You can find my other projects both over on Twitter and a bunch of our replays over on YouTube. Just search for Raven1841. All right, we are playing against Vizaga. So this hand's very playable. This is like kind of the hands that we were looking for when we started pulling this deck together. We have to hope it grows and doesn't just like start flooding out, but this is a really solid start. I mean, like an eye twitch. The only thing I think that would be better off the bat here is like an eye twitch or something. But the fact of the matter is, like, we can just grow with this. We can go Implementor and then Plum if we have to into Mage's Duel or just straight out Mage's Duel. And we just have a lot of options for plays here. Let's see what Vizaga's got. Hey, they had to pitch. That took them a little while to think about it, which means it was probably right on that edge of playable. And they're just going to turn it in? Unfortunate, but a win is a win. That's not the type of game you want to see on stream, but, you know, it's better than the server lagging out and getting draws. That's okay. I'll find you later, Bacon. In any case, let's try this again. See where we go. Maybe our opponent will not implode before we get to the first cards on the board. But it is a easygoing weekend here, right before a pretty hectic week coming up. But I'm excited for it. Waiting for server. Let's sing the waiting for server song. Hello, Magic Arena. Are you out there? Still waiting for players. Well, this isn't always what you want to see. There we go. 40 seconds. We eventually got there. Hello, Ribban Uzi? Ribjan Uzi? This hand also very playable. We need 1 land to throw the Woe Eater out, which we probably won't have to do. Or be able to do like right on that word go. But we have the Hunt for Specimens. We'll be okay. Like, we can Witherbloom, Hunt. Yeah, so we'll go Witherbloom probably into Hunt and then Mage's Duel with the Witherbloom and make things happen. Let's not accidentally mulligan. That would be really bad. Okay, so they're going to go Swamp Eye Twitch. Swamp Duress. That's pretty big. Are they more afraid of the Mage's Duel or the Hunt for Specimen? That's a big question here. They can play around the Mage's Duel. They can't really play around the Hunt. The Culling Ritual is a pretty big draw here. And I'm going to try to not accidentally blow myself up with this here. So if they throw a 2-drop, I'm just going to let them have it. And do I want to be patient here? I think not. I think I'm going to play the Wither Bloom. I'll fight the Implemencer if I have to. And if I get blown out on the trick, then we can Culling Ritual it. But that's just going to take them off tempo. We'll see. It's also possible that they just blow this up and get in with the Implemencer. I'm not going to block here. No blocks. Like, they know I have a Mage's Duel. So either they're going to try to remove... Okay, they're going to dance around this. Okay. I guess let's do the dance. Let's get in for 2 here. Okay. Like, do you want to just throw it at me? Do you want to just trade these back and forth? That's a thing. You did not play anything. You missed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you missed a land drop. That is sketchy. I'm just going to go with it. Why would you... What could you have had that would justify that? Like, what 2-mana spell were you holding up and trying to, like, 2-for-1 me out of with Mage's Duel? I'm not sure, and I'm not going to worry about it. Because I'm just going to untap and Woe Eater. We'll see if this works out the way I hope it does. Maybe they have another 1 or 2 drop. They don't know about the Culling Ritual. They have no idea what's in the left side of my hand. So if they're going to Implemencer in, I'm just going to take 2. And Pest Summoning, that's what we wanted. That was 100% what we wanted out of them. Because now I'm going to Culling Ritual, right? Lose a little, gain a little. That's fine. And make some life. Make some life. And I'm going to Woe Eater here. It's fine. He'll die on my next upkeep, but free cards, free card advantage, free life. It's excellent. It does make the Mage's Duel a little bit worse, but I'm not super worried about it. If something goes a little sideways here, I can Mortality Spear. Like, I have good spells for 5, so I'll go up to... That's good for them. I will say that much. That's where all my Pest Summonings went. I never got them. They're playing the main board, too, which is a little odd. I wonder if they just never got the Learn cards. Either that or they're just coming up at a really awkward rate. So we do get to do this during the upkeep. We get a Cram Session and another Mage's Duel. Not excellent against a swarm of pests here, but I guess it's okay. So we will just do this. We'll Cram Session. And we do need bodies. What am I afraid of out of my opponent? Nothing. I can take away whatever permanents they play. It's okay. So I have a fistful of removal and nothing to do with it. And they are stuck on 3 land. So if they play another Pest Summoning, I'm going to be sad. But I just need a viable body at this point. Blood Researchers, an annoyance. Okay, so Reckless Implemencer is exactly what the doctor ordered. We will punch this out before it becomes a problem. And then say go. We will block one of these pests, probably. Or maybe we're just going to take 2. I think we're just going to take 2 here and not worry about it. Not worry about the trick. There's a Mage Hunter. Okay, so now I want to do what? Can I, 4, 5, not quite. Do I just throw the introduction at this and get rid of it? Or do we charge in with the Implemencer, let them do Trixie blocks, and then have a bad day? No, we may just duel. If I gain life this turn, a lot of options here, but I feel like just Introduction to Annihilation, that's more mana than I really have. What do I want to do? I think we just let it go, right? I'm going to lose a life for this, no matter what I do. But they can't attack with this either. At least not into Implemencer. So maybe we just sit here and stare at each other? No attacks end turn? And hope that the cards in my deck are better than the cards in their deck? Like, we've already thrown one of our big cards away. So I guess that's what we do, is we block and see how this goes. If they throw a removal spell at me, we throw a removal spell back. It's fine. If they charge in with the Mage's Hunter, we block and pump the Amplimancer. If it's blocking into a trick, so be it. If it's not, all the better. What do you got? If only Mage's Duel was an instant. Really, really wish it was. But Rabban, RB Januzzi. Okay, so they're just going to hunt here. A lot of pests. Unfortunate, I got a little impatient with that culling ritual, but it was probably the right call. Like, I really didn't want to get run over. And now they've got an introduction to Annihilation. They don't have the mana to cast it, which is good for us. We'll see what they do. Are they going to do nothing? They are going to go for nothing here. We're just going to destroy this. I'll take 1 for it and not feel bad. And now, okay, Rise of Exodus is another one that... Great card. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. Because I have a Fistful of Removal, and not much to do with it is really what it comes down to. So if they want to race here, we'll race. Like, they can find a land, introduction to Annihilation. That's a little sad for me. They found a Plains? That's... Okay, so that may open up the rest of their hand, which is going to be a problem here. But they will Annihilation. I'll get to draw a card, and it's not a helpful one at this juncture. Oh boy, we are in trouble here, folks. We can Rise, which finds Containment Breach and does not get me what I need. I can Introduction and get nothing here. I have a Fistful of Removal and a 5-turn clock. I need to get a body here, and it's got to be a good one. Maybe I was supposed to Rise there. I don't think I was, though. But if they don't play anything and they just start turning sideways every turn... yeah, so they may have just a ton of removal here. Okay, that was really lucky for us. So we'll play the Eye Twitch. And I'm actually just going to Mage's Duel here. Like, we are just going to take one of these out, I think. No. That's getting cheeky. We'll end turn. And if they just throw a removal spell at it, so be it. Crushing Disappointment's a thing. Each player loses 2 life, and they draw 2 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are evening this game up pretty quickly. There's a Silver Coal Campus. And now they have all the mana that they need to cast things, and we have an Eye Twitch. Which is not super. I think I just trade the Eye Twitch for one of their bodies here if they go for it. If they throw a removal spell at it, then we plummet, but... Demigoth, that's not excellent for me. Okay, well, let's see if they turn sideways. Come in with the pests. Do not come in with the pests. Okay, so now what do I want to do here? I'm just going to untap. We Witherbloom Campus here, and we will Rise and just take this away. Right. What do I want to exile from his graveyard? Instant or sorcery, I guess. Hunt for specimens. Do this. Maybe I was supposed to Introduction there, but I feel like Rise of Exodus is fine. We still have, this was target creature, this was target permanent. This is just better. So if they can, what do they got? 1 green. Oh, they could give it hexproof. They could play that Hex Vines thing and really mess me up pretty bad here. I mean, I guess I get to throw... No, it's got Trample, right? Does not have Trample. Snakeskin Veil. That's what I was worried about. So now I am really in trouble here. We'll take a Containment Breach. No attacks. Yep. So are you going to sacrifice the Woe Eater, or are you going to sacrifice a Pest? Sack the Pest, that's fine. The Woe Eater's going to get blocked by the Eye Twitch. I'll take 2 here, and then I'll have to throw the Introduction of Annihilation at it. Because I cannot let this thing do more. Hey, I guess it doesn't matter, because the Eye Twitch does have to block. And we will try to find something here. And, yeah... Expanded Anatomy. I don't even think the Witherbloom, the 5/5, saves us. Dina definitely does not save us. They have all the mana in the world here. Like, if they have another way to save this thing, I am in so much trouble. So let's try it again. Hope. Nope, they have another response. Oh, we got it. All right, that's helpful. They did get a card out of it. We'll play Dina here. And let her rip. See what they got. Fistful of removal, I'm sure. But we've both drawn a fair number of cards. I do have the Plum, which I can't really make super use out of. They know we have Containment Breach and Expanded Anatomy. So they have a Bookworm. Of course they do. Because that's not super difficult to deal with right now. I guess we Leech Fanatic. And not Plum. We can't Plum here. So we can make this a 3/4. Not big enough. Let's make Vigilance until end of turn. That's not going to help us. This is just 7/7 trample. Like, okay, so we can make it 5, 6, 7, 5, 6. We are just short. We're short by 1 to make this work, right? Like, sacrifice on Exo or sacrifice creature's power. It is just short. Unfortunate for us. This may be our second loss here. We're looking pretty hurt. We've run out of all of our exile abilities, unfortunately, trying to get rid of that Woe Eater. Okay, this actually helps a lot. So we're not quite dead. That's also bad, though. So he's going to equip, and that's a sorcery. Oh, we are in so much trouble here. Yep, I mean, come on in. Get it. Yeah. No blocks. Ouch, my face. You gain a ton of health. Yep. And do you make a 2/2 here? Nope, you're going to Amplimancer, which is also okay. Like, we've already blown our Culling Ritual. We don't have much at this point. They've really dug themselves out of this game. They've done an excellent job navigating it. At the end of the turn, I can't afford to Plum. The Pledge Mage is just a little bit late. 5. Okay, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to work with. So we can Containment Breach. 8 does not save us, right? So, like, if I play 5, 6, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. It's not enough. I need more. So I can Containment Breach to make it 7. Yep, this is what we have to do. So we Containment Breach here. Dina's going to eat both of these. Right? Containment Breach, make a body. Dina eats this. Submit 1. We'll gain a life. They'll lose a life. Which makes her 4. We will have her eat again. Pay 1. Eat, please. And this isn't even going to matter because he's just going to shove Bookworm like right back. And then we will try to kill the Bookworm here, I guess. And then turn sideways with Dina. Still... No, yeah, we still die. The Amplimancer still gets in for way too much. So what do they got? Yeah, because we have to block the Amplimancer with Dina, and then they're just going to pump it. So the Bookworm's going to die here. They have way too many. Oh, no. Nope. This one's super over. Not even close. They got, like, everything I wanted for my deck. But that's okay. We are 1-2. We can still pull this out. We just got to get... Oh, we're 2-2 now. We can still pull this out. We need to get 3 more wins without taking another loss. This deck has the potential to do it, but it is going to be a very uphill battle. Welcome to the game, Fictionerd. This hand is okay. I need a couple of land to make it really work, but we will take a stab at it. Scourge Colony does make it better. That means we don't have to throw the Cram Session out in a desperate attempt to make things happen. That land really does help a lot, though. So now we can go Scurrid. I'm not worried about an Ageless Guardian. They are playing quickly, which is nice. Good brisk pace here. And we'll see what they play, because we do have an eliminate in the wings. And if they don't play anything threatening, I'm just going to drop the troll and say go. Which I don't think is a bad play either, because I do just want to get on the board here. Oh, he's got nothing. Yikes. So that's fine. I'm going to just play the troll here and say go. Yep. Play a troll, say go. I'm not swinging into this for now. I mean, the Trudge will. The Trudge will swing into it. Okay, so Professor's Warning, they're going to make it a 2-5. That does make this a little bit harder to deal with. And we'll see what they throw on to it. The Spectre of the Fens is not my favorite thing to see at this point, but I'm also not worried about it. So we will go ahead and what? Cram Session. I want to hold up. I think I want to wait to Cram Session. I think I'm just going to play the Amplimancer. Eliminate the Guardian. And turn sideways with the Trudge. We'll see if they're willing to make this trade. And they are not. So that's probably the better play on their part. I do need another land to really start making things ugly. Tenured Inkcaster, however, does make this much better. So I will not block that. How do I want to get around this? Mage's Duel, Cram Session. So I want to get this Spectre of the Fens out of the way, and I can do it with the Mage's Duel. So we're going to make our life a little bit easier here. We'll Cram Session. What have we seen out of them so far? They're token-oriented. Let's take the Annihilation, and then we will Mage's Duel here to make this a 4 angry. Yep. We'll just get rid of that, because I don't want to continually deal with it. Now the question is, do they want to make a tradesies here? How badly do they want that Trudge? The answer is pretty badly. So we will stomp in and not really worry about what they're going to do next. A land would be nice. Being able to get the Trudge back would be nice. But if they just kind of like throw removal spells at this, so be it. I do need to draw land, though. That's kind of where we're at right now. Expel is unfortunate, but that's not... Maybe they have more flyers than I think they do. A first year, I'm not worried about. Cram Session again. What do I want to do here? Yep. So we're going to Cram Session. We will take Expanded Anatomy. And hey, guess who's back? It's Brackish Troll. And we will make this trade. If that's what they're willing to do. They are not. And at this point, okay, that's good for them. That makes it very big this turn, and that's going to be a big swing in their favor. 16. So that makes this a 4-4, which is kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. But I can also be a 4-4, but that means I don't do anything else this turn. So if I gain life this turn, things... So I can Dina. I can Troll, I can Dina. I think we're going to just put on the pressure here and not worry about it too much. At least not yet. So let's go ahead and play the Trudge. I really do just need one more land. If they have a removal spell, they have a removal spell. We'll take 4 more. At least it's not lifelink. And they did find a 6th land, so maybe they have Rise of Extius or something. Some other kind of big removal spell, as long as they don't have like a 6/6 flyer. And this is going to hurt them a lot. So now we have the Expanded Anatomy, target the Amplimancer. Are you okay with this? You seem to not have much of a choice. Then we'll play Dina. And I'm going to get in for 8 here. And I'm going to put them in a situation where they can't attack. So unless the next 2 cards of them make this like an 8/8 and give a double strike, I think we're in a pretty safe position. Spectre of the Fens is good, but are they going to try to come in? Are they going to trade for the Amplimancer? Is that what they're thinking here? No. What do I want to do now? I think everybody just comes in the red zone, right? Like, let's go? Because they have to block... Okay, wait a minute. Let's... Hold on. Did I think about this correctly? 8... Yeah. So let's go full control attack, and let's use my brain here and mortality spear there. Okay. Resolve, please. Because now the block becomes super complicated because of Dina. Like, no matter what they do, I'm pretty sure they cannot effectively block all of this and not take 8. The Spectre, make your mark. That's fine. Okay. Whichever one you block, I sacrifice. Sure. Pay 1, eat it. You still take lethal? Okay. And that's more akin to what we want our deck doing. That last game was really rough. But that's okay, because you know what? We made it to Gold 4. Climbing slowly here. In any case, if you're hanging out with me today, I appreciate it. My name is Raven. We are playing a Strixhaven quick draft here. And we're giving away some arena codes. Let's go ahead and drop another one of these into chat. Hopefully people are picking them up. If not, someone will see them on the replay and try them eventually. So I hope you're enjoying yourself if you're hanging out. I appreciate it. If you're interested in checking out any of my other videos, you can find them over on YouTube. Just search for Raven1841. Also, if you're enjoying yourself, please be sure to do the like, share, subscribe thing. Check out the links below to help support me. So I don't know how this the rest of this draft is going to go. We're, 2 and 3 now? We need to win 2 more to make this not feel terrible. And, yeah, we definitely just hit a super rough patch. We've been putzing around with MID lately with the new set, with the new standard, NC Nicalte. Okay. This is a really good hand. I am quite happy with this. The Culling Ritual feels a little bad, but I'm not worried about it. Like, well, oh boy. So they're going to straight mull. Once, twice, 3 times. Nope, just once. So we're just going to get right into them. We're going to go Eye Twitch off the bat. We'll follow it up with the Apprentice. Star Pupil, I'm not worried about. Let's go. Get in here, friend. We'll follow it up with the Apprentice. We'll see where they go with this. And I'm just not going to stress about this. Like, we're in a great position. If I have to go get Decree of Annihilation, I will. The 1/4 Guardian's a little annoying, but I'm not... It's not going to make or break what I'm doing here. However, that does mean maybe we don't cast Dina at this juncture. Because maybe we do have to Culling Ritual to break through. We'll find out. Let's put the Eye Twitch in and see where this goes. I don't know. Like, this is currently a 2 for 1 on the next turn. I'm going to hold on to Dina and set up for a Ritual. Like, this is a lot of mana. If I can draw, like, a 4 mana, or a 4, yeah, a 4 mana body, like, we'll feel pretty good about this. Okay. Let's see the trick here. If you've got the trick, you've got the trick. I'll let you have it. I mean, that's just going to end up putting me further ahead with mana. Like, I'm okay with this trade. Okay. That's fine by me. Serving's a little more annoying. That's not necessarily something I wanted to see. But what we can do is I can charge in here. Let's see if they take the trade. If they take the trade, I feel great. If they don't, it's a little annoying. But, okay, they did not opt for that. So I am going to just Culling here. I'm going to pick up a bunch of mana here. We'll clean the board out. That's okay. We'll take this, and we are going to... That's going to get big. That was not exactly what we wanted, but it's okay. We'll take Introduction to Annihilation, and then we will cast Dina, and we will Cram Session, and we will take Expanded Anatomy for Dina. So, overall, you win some, you lose some. We'll see what they play out. The Serving's kind of a problem now. I'm not super happy about where it ended up. But this is going to make her a 3/5, assuming she survives, to actually make this happen. So she can become a 3/5. She'll get Vigilance. We might just get bashed in the head again by the Serving, and if that's the case, then we've put ourselves so far behind that we can't win. At least we're unlikely to win unless we get some, like, mega power draws in the next, like, 2 cards. But we will see. They're thinking about it? I don't know. Okay. I will get in here. Removal spell. No removal spell. End turn. So now the question is, do they have another trick for this? If they don't play a body, I'm probably just going to take 4 here and then annihilate it. No blocks. That's okay. I can win this race is what it comes down to. So let's see. Like, is this where we're at? I guess this is where we're at. Let's Scourge Colony. No. Let's annihilate. No. Yeah, let's Scourge Colony and see where they go here. Like, this is only 2 lands short of being monstrous, right? Yep. And now they have some harder choices. Maybe they're just off second white here or off a third color. But if this is all that they're able to kind of muster, they are in trouble. And it would appear that is the case here. No blocks. And I'll race it. I mean, they're on a 2-turn clock here. Symmetrist is a great drop for them, but it's not going to be enough. So I'm going to go right ahead and annihilate that. Take it straight off the board here. And get in. So now they are at a major crossroads. If they don't play something big here, they're going to be hurting. I unfortunately don't have anything left to really learn unless they play an enchantment or an artifact, which I'm not super worried about. They have to stop the aggression now. Like, they can't swing in, they'll die. So now we kind of sit here and stare at each other. Right? Okay, so if I swing in with Dina, they double block. We go nowhere. If I... Right, so that's 6. She does not survive that, and the Scourge dies. If they single block, she does not survive that, and they go to 2. Correct? Yeah, that doesn't quite work out the way I need it to. So let's play the land, and I guess I just have to give them the time, right? Like, I don't see... Oh, I could have learned. I could have done the not go to the board learn. That would have been better here. Let's trust that my opponent is going to make good plays and that I make bad plays. Let's learn. Let's just do this. We'll just discard a card, draw a card, or whatever it is instead. Man, to have any kind of a body in my sideboard here would have saved me. Any of the castable bodies. But we'll take Containment Breach, I guess. We'll gain 1, they'll lose 1. Here we go. What are they feeding you? Oh, maybe that would have done the trick too. I mean, that would have put them to 1, but it wouldn't have been enough. Dragon's Guard Elite's a problem. Like, they're getting bodies. They're making it much harder for me to win this. The Servine still can't come in, I don't think. The Quandrix Pledge Mage, that's an interesting choice. Okay, my turn, and this is big, because now I can just smash in, right? Like, this doesn't have the ability to do much. Yep, so we have to take this opportunity. Let's make them make choices. On Your Mark is really bad for me. Super not okay. Lot of counters here. And Dina and the colony. Is that what they want to do? Okay. What do I want dead here? I want that dead for sure. And these can trade. I guess that's where we're going here. They have a ton of cards, though. And this does not feel good. They're going to get a 3-2 also. That's a token creature spirit. It's not an artifact or enchantment. And now they have a ton of bodies. Have I already blown the culling ritual? I have. Yikes. Oh, no. And there's Plum the Forbidden, too. But at the very least, I'm going to profit on this. So I'm going to be making some moves here. End turn. They're only at 3. They are only at 3. Like, we just need to break through a little bit and make something happen here. So that's going to make that bigger. That's a problem. What do we have left? Oh, man. That is also a problem, but that's tomorrow problems. We'll see them crash in here for probably everything. Maybe. No, maybe no. Thinking about it. Okay, so now we block. We block here, 1 blocker, and then we plumb, sack 1, auto pay, duplicate this twice, take some damage, gain some life, lose 1 life, not helpful, draw a card, lose 1 life, not helpful, and now I'm dead. Yeah, that is straight up dead. So this league has ended terribly. My opponent's graveyard, I guess we can take on your mark. That's fine. We'll pay the 6. Exile that. Pitch that. Select a card to discard. Yes, please. Draw action. Action that we can't play. That would have been excellent 1 turn ago. Unfortunately, that is the end of our league here. This run has gone abysmally, but it's no big deal. In any case, if you enjoyed hanging out, I appreciate it. My name is Raven. This has been a MTG Arena Strixhaven Quick Draft. And we are... Let's see here. What do we get? Prizes? Do we get prizes? 50,000. 2 packs. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, it's got wings. It's garbage. All right, let's see what Innistrad's going to bring us. Pack says... garbage. Yay. Opening packs is something. So let's take a second here. We'll look at what we're doing. We're kind of building into like historic Jeskai right now. I'm almost zero interested in standard. We're missing 12 rares for this apparently, which is terrible. So we'll build 1 more Archmage's Charm, finish those out. And I think I need, what, 2 more? Yeah, I need a lot of rares. But we are looking at things that we can't draft out at the moment. So we'll make, what, Anger of the Gods? We need to make a bunch of Anger of the Gods. We need to make Nezahals for the sideboard. So we'll make an Anger here, craft 1. And then I guess I can make things for standard. Not that we're actually playing standard, but I suppose I should make Loloths for this deck. It seems good. We also need more Goldspan Dragons for it. Like, I think Goldspan Dragon is probably more important here. 1, 2. You know what? Let's make 1 Goldspan Dragon. Nah, let's make 2. Goldie is just the card right now. So we'll make 2 Goldspan Dragons. And we will throw away what? What do we not like in this? I don't like Professor Onyx for one, but I think it's probably fine. Elderfang Disciples are not the bestest thing ever, but they're okay. Probably 1 Feed the Swarm can go. Power Word Kill. It's okay. I'm fine with it. Deadly Disputes, Shambling Ghasts. Everything else is probably fine in here. I don't think this is the most powerful version of the deck. I think the Jund is probably better, but we don't have a land base for it, so we're playing this. It's okay. It's passable. And that's all I'm really worried about. We have a crap ton of these. But that is everything for today, everybody. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed hanging out, please be sure to do the like, share, subscribe thing. Check out the links below to help support me. And we will see everybody next time. You know what? Before we go, let's drop 1 more code here and see how we do. For anybody claiming these codes, yeah, if you could just let me know in the comments, either here or on YouTube, that'd be really appreciated. Thank you very much. Have a good night, everybody. Sport.